Hey guys. So I wanted to recount this while it was still defrosting in my mind. It's no secret that in eastern Canada it gets pretty cold. We've had about 4 days of snow. I'm from Vancouver. Snow is still very novel and exciting to me. However, when I woke up this morning, something felt a little different. It's currently -4. The high for today is -2 with lows of -8. That probably is still pretty wimpy to anyone from here, where their winters sometimes get as low as -40. So I start getting ready for my day. On Tuesdays, I generally get a ride from the teacher that I work with. I get outside and it is an ice rink. I went skating last weekend for the first time in like 25 years. I'm not even that old, so that doesn't make sense. First time in like a decade. And my feet are meant to be on land. Non-slip grip land all the time. But that kind of terrain was not available to me this morning. So I'm like rusty roboting up the driveway, which I need to explain is very steep. And I realize there's no way that I'm making it up this hill unscathed. No way. I'm trying to devise a plan. The other evening, I just kind of slid all the way down, but that's not really an option when you're going vertically up. After a while, I make my way up. I go on the grass between my driveway and our neighbors, all the while kind of rock climbing on this concrete wall. There's some lady on the top of the street that's just kind of staring down at me. When I get to the top, she's like, pas facile, hein? Which means not easy, hey? No, I almost just died. And we start driving, and it's not that far a ride to the school. But halfway there, she realizes that I can't even work today because our kids have a special presentation or something. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure. Well, why don't you just leave me here and I'll walk home? And she's like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, we're a 5-minute walk from my house. No problem. And it's not until she's driving away that I realize that I am at the foot of an equally, if not more intimidating hill than the one that I faced off with this morning. This time, though, it's not just my driveway, it's the entire street. You know your little danger receptors that people in horror films always seem to be missing when they go down to the basement or open the closet? Well, I happen to have very acute danger receptors. And every single alarm of don't do this is like, whoa! But I'm like, I have no choice. So I take out my iPod and I put on Drake's Started from the Bottom. If I die here, I might as well be listening to inspirational rap. And I'm thinking, Drake's from Toronto. This is probably what the song is about. Fighting your way to the top. Except for in his song, he has like all his friends with him and I was just alone. Finally, I get to my house. A quarter of an hour later, still listening to my party playlist. Now little John is like yelling at me. This hill that was so scary this morning is looking triple times fatal from the top, staring down. And I'm like, what do I do? Little John had the answer. He was hollering at me to get low. All right, Little John. So I crouch down and I just kind of slide really gracefully, like the Swan Princess. Once in a while, I hit somewhat of a dry patch and I jolt forward, so I need to stop myself with my hands. And the ice is like chafing down my fingers, but I can't really feel it because they're so frozen. I get to my front door and my landlady's there and she is adorable. Bless her. She can chat. She's going on and I'm just like, I don't know if you realize right now, but I'm about to lose some limbs. So finally I get in and my fingers start to defrost. Now, I can't explain this kind of pure, utter suffering. I would liken it to being in a hot tub, jumping in snow, being back in the hot tub. Why do you do that? I felt my hands were swelling and then retracting, all the whilst being pushed through a waterfall of blazing fire, which was also frozen. It was very confusing. But I'm just like, this pain has got to stop right now. I can't deal with this. I put them under hot water. Stupid. Start like popping Advils and hoping that they will kick in. I'm contemplating the liquor in my fridge, but I have to teach a class later this afternoon. And all I can really do is just curl up and wait for the pain to go away. If this is going to happen every single time I get in, I'm just never going to leave the house. And I guess my landlord picked up on the fact that I was having a near-death experience. She has now installed a rope that goes from the top to the bottom of our driveway. I'll be able to hoist myself up every morning, probably to a soundtrack of Drake. But yeah, winter doesn't mess around here. Quebecois have a word for cold. Froid being cold in French, but they say fret, a hyperbolic kind of cold. When a people that have braved winters unlike any I have ever known for centuries say that it's fret, I start shaking in my boots, literally and figuratively. That's what people have been saying lately, that it's fret. It's November. Like, just give me rain. Wish me luck. Anyway, I really hope I survive because I would like to see my friends and family again back at home. And when, you know, it feels a little chilly in the morning, just think about how you can expose your skin to the wind without becoming a flesh-toned icicle. See you later.